What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're working back in our Gas Course project, an action RPG built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, the gameplay ability system plugin, C++, all that good stuff. And today we're gonna do probably the first part of multi-parts. I don't know how much I'll actually stream of it, but we're gonna do multiple parts probably of me downloading 5.4, installing it, and migrating our project from it. I'm currently on 5.3. So we're gonna go ahead and download this, try to compile it, and while it's compiling, just kind of talk a little bit and maybe plan the project a little bit further. And we'll stream for about an hour. I think it's gonna take more than an hour, most likely, to even compile everything. But let's go ahead and just get started. So I'm going to download the zip, put that into our desktop, and we'll see how long that takes to download. And like I said, in the meanwhile, we could probably add stuff to our to-do list. Because yeah, I don't know how much this needs to actually download. Probably a good amount, if I'm going to be honest. But let's look at our to-do list. Let's just cut the crap here and just start from the beginning here. I want to break this down into different sections. I want to break this down into locomotion, camera, combat, and I want to figure out what I want to do for each of those. Because like for locomotion, for example, we have, so for keyboard and mouse, we use WASD controls, but we also do point and click. And the big question really is like, do we really want point and click in our game? I don't know if we do. And that's a pretty big decision if we want to do. Because yeah, like this is downloading. It's almost done, it looks like, or it is done. Maybe it's cleaning up. But let's say, yeah, to do, how do we want to handle camera rotation? Yeah, and this is gonna be under camera. Do we want to rely on control rotation for camera manipulation? Okay, so everything should be done downloading right here. Now we got unzip. So extract. And we're gonna put this as well. We'll put this in this C drive. We will extract that bad boy. So, you know, right thumbstick, manipulation, mouse manipulation. Do we want, I guess we would say like separation of different camera behavior? Like to do, like, do we want a combat camera that tries to keep enemies in frame? Is it better in this isometric perspective to let the player handle it themselves? I think that's also a pretty big question that we have to answer. Yeah, I don't know why this PC is struggling to extract this. And I guess another one to do. Do we care about being able to zoom in, out? Yes, I believe so. Let's keep it for now. Are we still struggling? I don't like what. Why is this having so much trouble? Okay. So is this doing anything? Hold on. Okay, no, it didn't start the process. So let's try this again. Oh, what was that? So extract all, browse here, extract. And it looks like it's just going to crap out again. I don't know why this computer is not happy about extracting zip folders into the C drive. Let's cancel it again, I guess. That's upsetting. Let's create an explicit folder, I guess. Folder, Unreal Engine. Third time's the charm. There's more options. I guess all we want is extract all. I mean, can I please just put it in here and just call it a day? It looks like no, I can't do that. But let's just let it try. Like, I won't mess with it, I guess. But yeah, locomotion. Do we want separate locomotion for combat? So like strafing, locomotion in combat versus orient to movement. Forward facing locomotion in non-combat. Might be interesting to kind of look into that as well. Do we want in combat to have constant rotation alignment to your targets? I guess it really depends. Like, I want to have like melee like aspects in our game, and with melee stuff, this stuff is useful. But I also want like, you know, magic and spells and things like that. Okay, so this one is once again just not happy about what I'm doing. That's so irritating. Why did I spend so much money on a computer that can't do anything? Isn't that like the shittiest feeling ever? So restart. All right, so let's try this again, but I'm gonna extract on the desktop. Is it happy about that? No. Why? Windows, is it 12 that I'm running? Can't extract without freezing. I think I should down. Do I have WinRAR? I do. Yeah. This PC is just shitting the bed, it seems. This is fun. Yeah, now my Task Manager, Windows Explorer, restart. Like, where's the struggle? I'm so confused. Like, why is this PC, like, so disgusted with what I'm trying to do? Oh, man. Windows security, is this like yelling at me for anything? No. Damn. So I can open up other stuff. So let's open up WinRAR. Okay, so I need to download WinRAR apparently. Maybe WinRAR will not yell at me for this stuff, you know? So WinRAR extract files. So here, Unreal Engine. Okay. WinRAR is the GOAT. I don't know what Windows is, what its problem is. But yeah, now that we're actually extracting it now, we have a copy of our project. We're never gonna not have that copy, the 5.3 copy. But we're gonna just see if we can just compile the engine and kind of get the editor open, and then we'll worry about copying over the project files and things like that. So yeah, back to our to-do list. So yeah, combat. Just open questions for our combat. Do we need any motion warping? So yeah, hold on. Locomotion. So we got all this crap. Camera. Combat. I guess itemization. Stats. A lot of open questions that I have about my own game that I haven't really been properly answering on my own. But I feel like it will be important to kind of go through all of these things, at least like do passes on each one each week. At least try. Just kind of see what happens. Okay. So now we should have Unreal Engine in here. So I believe the first one is setup.bat. Info, run anyway. That checks dependencies, and we gotta download a bunch. Yeah, so locomotion. Do we want sprinting as a default universal movement mechanic? Same with dodges, rolls. Should this be class specific? Gained abilities? And then how can we make sure sprinting works in multiplayer? I know there's a lot of issues with sprinting in multiplayer when it comes to replication and everything. There's like boomerang effects and things that can happen. But yeah, dodges and rolls and stuff, like, I don't know. I feel like potentially these could be class specific or not. Maybe you can have ranged builds with magic people, but still be able to dodge or dash. And sprinting can still be a core mechanic. So camera. I think we answered these kind of questions. I guess to do we want to allow camera movement independent from character? For now, yes. Like, the big question and answer is really how we want to do kind of camera manipulation in that regard. Because maybe we want to, you know, within a specific kind of mode that you can kind of toggle on and off, you can manipulate the camera, and you can, turn it independently and move it independently. But by default, it's kind of like that. So do we need any motion warping start looking into melee plus melee traces through montage and skeletal sockets, bones, itemization. Do we want to support weapons and gear? Do we care about inventory / inventory management? Doing on this 60%. Pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, stats. So health, max health, mana, max mana. Do we care about stamina? Would stamina be only associated with movement abilities? Would mana still be labeled as mana for other classes? So would melee builds just use stamina? So character level. So attack, damage, defense. I don't know if we care about agility. So maybe agility. Gotta spell agility, right? And then we would say, do we link agility to movement mechanics? How? %. I think this is enough stuff to think about. Come up with like the task. So this week, migrate gas course project to UE 5.4. Okay, and that's what we're doing. Yes, we want to install the prerequisites. That should be everything for the first step of installing and compiling our project here, or Unreal 5.4. Then we need to do generate project files.bat. We want to run it anyway. This is where we might run into some issues depending on if we have latest in the .NET framework and maybe any missing components and stuff from Visual Studio. Build succeeded. Awesome. But now generating Visual Project files, and then okay, so we finished that. Now this is where my memory is sort of fuzzy. I think I could do a couple things. I think under engine binaries, Win64, there is this selector here. Yes, we want to make this directory that. And then I should be able to now open up the solution file. Custom open. Got a nice juicy README. Well, it's pretty nice that it gives you everything here. Yeah, so run generate project files, load. Yeah, so we're pretty much on the way. So add configuration. I don't know. We'll let everything kind of load in the way it needs to. But yeah. So the next coming stream, after we do 5.4, I want to so investigate camera rotation via control rotation. So for keyboard, mouse, this means mouse XY axis. Gamepad, this means right thumbstick axis. But we already have this done. Compare if we I don't know if the word compare is the right thing. So determine if by default we want camera rotation via control rotation, and then opt in controls to manipulate. Why is it written like that? To move and rotate the camera independently. Okay. Yeah, so it's installing the writer plugin. Great. Let's see if it works. If that's important. Then I would want to investigate strafe versus forward facing locomotion. Now this could entail maybe anim link layers to separate the locomotion type. Should strafe be dependent on combat state, or should it be player driven? What input could we use to toggle strafing locomotion? What are the pros and cons of strafing versus forward facing? And I think I would need to have some sort of always running preset to determine if there's enemies nearby. So maybe that could be also something on my to-do list. Investigate generic targeting preset to use for combat state driven logic. Use state trees. Use state tree for combat state logic. This needs to be a sub thing of that. Can we create a state tree task for running target preset queries? This is a fat to-do list. So maybe we can leave it at that. But at this point, we're going to be vibing and chilling while this thing installs. Like, we're still just installing the regular link plugin. Yeah, we have marketplace plugins, like the Darker Nodes plugin and Electric Nodes, I think is what it's called. So we gotta make sure those get installed correctly. And we also have custom engine modifications in the 5.3 version. So I don't know how much we would need to carry over or not. Like, the first goal is to get my project to even open in 5.4. And the goal even before that is to just get 5.4 to open. Once it's done processing and installing the writer plugin, we should be able to see up here, what we want to do. It's going to be Unreal 5. So once this is done, we should be able to just start compiling, and it's probably going to take forever at that point, which is cool. Build successful. Awesome, awesome. Cool, cool. So it's refreshing project file stuff, caching stuff. I'm assuming once this is done doing what it's wanting to do, we can start. Syncing projects. Oh, okay. Music's pretty good, if I do say so myself. It's not my music, of course, but it's good background music. Hopefully it's not going to get me flagged on Twitch or YouTube or anything. Okay. So I should be able to just build this one. So again, we made sure we selected just the UE5 project. Luckily, we're not doing Unreal Game Sync. I remember I did that for the original Project Hero. That was a pain in the ass. I don't really want to deal with that. Not worth it for just a project with me on it, but you know, definitely useful for bigger teams and stuff like that. That as a repo and visualization into the repo. Okay, 6,573. Nice. So yeah, that's gonna take a pretty long time. Maybe we can read some of these. Is there a patch notes or anything? Branches, blah, blah, blah. Good. That I don't know who uses Mac for this stuff. Additional target platforms, license contributions, additional web stuff. There from a fresh source code, unique experience on the websites. Changes off as kind of environment story and updated cache to only happen once. Yeah, hopefully. All right, we're almost at 100 files, so I think that's 6%. Anything else in this to-do list? Definitely in stats. Like, I guess we gotta need some sort of stat associated with magic or something. Let me see. RPG magic stats. See what Reddit has to say. Intelligence. Do is this linked with magic damage? I guess we need a section for like damage pipeline. So damage types. Is it like a magic defense stat? So RPG magic defense stat. I don't know. Should there be separate stats for like defense and so defense? Physical damage, magic damage. Status effect damage. Definitely seems like we have a lot to think about. All right, we're definitely not at 12%. Did I get this wrong? I think my math is wrong. So let's see, 223 divided by 6573. Yeah. But now we're at 3%. Open the project while this is going on. I'm pretty sure my PC is at like max for RAM usage and CPU. Yeah. It's probably not good for the PC. I also worried like I'm playing what's the name? No Rest for the Wicked. So I'm wondering, like, I'm fearing that I'll just kind of do what they're doing, but I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see. Maybe we can read a little bit about Unreal Engine 5.4. Maybe they'll have a breakdown. Yeah. Let's see. So what's new? Character animation. So player control is stuck. All things animation related. So animation authoring, the gizmos, blah, 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 constraints, details, post, retarget phase. So we have a retarget phase that handles the set of operations after the retargeted result from the IK retargeter. IK retargeting. This provides it for proper assignment IK bones to match the source animation or retarget result through motion generation or target animation and activation for remapping. Sequencer stuff. Binding lifetime track, modular control rig. Skeletal editor. This is what I tried last night and stuff that had stuff that was just kind of crashing. So maybe we can try that again. I don't know. Control rig direct manipulation. Nice. Automatic animation retargeting for bipedal characters. Okay. This will make animation retargeting for common bipedal skeletons more accessible and consistent in our Unreal Engine. For common bipedal skeletons, retarget chain creation full by IK setup are now fully automated with the click of a button. In the retargeter, new pose alignment tools provide better matching between the source and target for retargeting. So we can definitely try that again. I can maybe add that to my notes. Oops. Try retargeting again from Manny to Elf Male with new tools in 5.4. I just want to see if we get better results, I suppose. Oh yeah, choosers and proxy tables. Yeah, I've used this at work already. Pretty useful. That's a way of, I get, yeah, just saying like a lookup table for things like animations or whatever you want. Really. Choosing proxy tables offer a framework for selecting animation for playback based on game context without having to write complex logics. These are features are now in beta, so that's cool. Motion matching, also very cool. Don't need that for the project at all. Rendering neural network engine. There is an increasing demand for neural network applications both in editor and in game, and on the CPU as well as on the GPU. The neural network interface engine in UV allows developers to load and efficiently run their pre-trained neural network models. I don't know anything about neural networks. Nanites isolation. Great. Nanite optimized shading. Nice blind mesh. Orthographic camera rendering. That's pretty cool. Temporal super resolution. Heterogeneous volumes. That's crazy. Optimized shader cook time. Very, very nice. I don't know, where are we on this bar? Oh, we're not even close to the top. Programmatic PSO pre-caching, we intend for automated PSO. Gathering and capturing the volume, process for collecting all possible records, accommodations for the ink, consequence state, for the PSO shaders themselves, properly for cache to avoid runtime pitches. Then the goal for shader for caching is fine and save all possible valid potentially used shader combinations. I don't know how that works. I read Tom Lumen's thing about PSO stuff. I don't know if this is going to fail in the end. Do I have any errors? Yeah, I failed to create virtual memory for this stuff. So I might have to just recompile again after it's all said and done. Like, we're almost 1/6 of the way there. So that's pretty cool. Hardware ray tracing, large world coordinates on GPU. So that's interesting. Large world coordinates in UE introduce support for double precision transforms and data types, allowing the maximum world size to increase from 21 to 88,000. Okay, that's a huge jump. Large world coordinates rendering support on GPU and tile representation, which has a number of limitations, including precision during near tile boundaries. We are recovering developer iterations of cloud multi-process code is now production ready for 5.4. Multi-process code coverages the total time it takes you to get a cooked output from the build farm server or on your local workstation by leveraging all CPU cores and memory resources. Okay. Nice. Performance gains may vary depending on the size of the project and how the data is separated. For best results, we recommend that you test different cook process count values depending on the project and available hardware specs. Okay. Motion graphics, viewport rules and guidelines. That's pretty cool. Cloners and effectors. I don't know what that is. Effectors. Looks interesting. Don't know really what that is. Material designer. So you can build stuff on the fly. Interesting. Active alignment tools. Nice. 2D and 3D primitives. Geometry modifiers. That's pretty cool. Text 3D improvements. So robust font features are a fundamental necessity for designers, and as they contribute personality and expression to the designs. We seek to simplify the process. Cool, cool. Outliner enhancements, nice. Renaming tool. This is a pretty big update. Translation logic, broadcast rundown, stagger animation. Okay. Masking modifiers, grid arrange modifier. Excuse me. Lots of stuff that I don't know or care about. So much stuff with any game engine. It's hard to wrap your head around it sometimes. Like, I'm in such a small corner pocket of what I do. Mind blowing. Chaos, clothes. Visual debugger, physics-based character movement. That's interesting. Physics-based interaction between the character and its environment. That'll be something interesting. Add it to our to-do list. How, so to do, how easy is it to set up? See, I'm not sure how much we need to do for because I think that is the intent there, to replace the character movement component. Hey, how's it going? Vinny Guerrero. Good to see you. Is it just me or is the mic jittering? I don't know. It probably is the mic jittering because my mic is always bullshit. Let me listen. I don't know. It probably is the mic jittering because my mic is always bullshit. Let me listen. Unreal Engine 5.4 and streaming at the same time, and my computer is just dying. Anything's possible. And we're at the almost the 1/3 mark with the compiling. We're only gonna be streaming for like 10 more minutes. I kind of want to just read through these notes, notate things that I possibly would want for my project. This would be interesting. Maybe it's not something we need to care about at the moment. Level instances for soft object stuff, server streaming, okay. Landscape, Nanite automatic async build, nice, nice. How's this course going? Well, I mean, just for clarity, it's a project that I'm making that will end up, I would want to end up as a free course for people to use as a reference to learn gas. It's not a course I'm just watching and following along with. And it's going okay. I don't have too much time at any given day to kind of like work on this, which sucks. So it's slow, but still. We get there, we make progress where we can, you know. Water scalability, I don't know if I care about water too much. Runtime, very cool. Node UX 5.4 introduces multiple UX improvements while working with the PCG. Okay. don't really care too much about that. Attribute set tables, not what we think they are. It's not ability system attribute set tables. It's something else. Recursive subgraphs, biome core, still procedural stuff. I think that's all procedural generation stuff. Platform stuff, Lumen on mobile, interesting. Audio stuff, which I'm sure will be useful, but I don't really mess with audio too much. FX import customization stuff, cool. I don't know what USD is. So it's a versatile scene description file format. Okay, now we know. I'm also studying gas, but only on free time, so kind of slow pace at the moment. Yeah, it's kind of just how it is. Everyone's got busy lives, things to do, and you only have so much time to kind of sit down and learn and progress with certain things. So here we go, Character Mover 2.0. So the Mover plugin, oh, there's a picture. The Mover plugin that came with the existing character movement functionality on Unreal. It is a very large endeavor and has numerous touch points in the code base, ranging from physics to animation to networking. The main features of this effort are support for all actor types, not only characters, help gameplay programmers focus on movement, less on complexities of networking, improves extensibility and customization through modularity while empowering non-engineers to craft their own movement. Okay, expands gameplay possibilities, supports a generalized rollback networking model that other systems can also use. So I definitely I want to try to use that. I just don't know what that's going to look like, honestly. We'd have to kind of investigate. We would have to make our own like a new character just so we don't break anything, right? And just see what happens. External state tree stuff. Nice large world coordinates. We kind of talked about that. I want to look at the gas debugging improvements. If it'll let me look at the picture. Still not great, but it's just attribute stuff. That's nice. Some more improvements I think could be made. I'm keeping an eye out on the motion matching library they had mentioned. Oh yeah. I think it comes with some project that you can use that kind of sets you up by default. That's pretty cool. How are we doing? Compiling. Not too big. We're still sections. Data only recording, that's very cool. So as the full blueprint graphs, which are still unsupported. Yeah, if we do like full blueprint graph version, that would be pretty cool. I'm saying it's a very complicated thing because it's just like, visual graph nodes and stuff and being able to give that properly. But that'd be really cool if they could do that. But probably not for a long time. Windows Game Input API. Microsoft recently released their new Game Input API for Windows, and this provides a way for us to add more out-of-the-box connectivity support for controllers. This includes PlayStation controllers without special first-party license requirement. Okay, cool. Iris replication, so we already have that enabled in our project. Still don't know much about what it's doing, but we'll see. Editor stuff, multi-user actor replication, so replicate actors in real time over multi-user editing tool, blah, blah, blah. UI system, slate post buffer, UMG view model. So the UMG view model is based on the model view model pattern. To be able to make structural changes, code changes. Also something potentially to look out for. Would be pretty cool to look into that. And we'll see if we have time ever. But yeah, my computer's just chugging along. Yeah, look into that media stuff. Production rendering pipelines, protocols, DMX, good wrapper, I suppose. SDK upgrade stuff, don't really care too much about it. So release notes. And I think this is just a bunch of bug fix nonsense stuff. So gameplay stuff we care about. Blend stack support for automatic insertions in state machine. Find and replace feature for chooser table property reference. Allocate temporary memory for chooser evaluation on the stack. Rewind debugger, track view improvements. I wonder if we can use rewind debugger stuff at all. That seems really cool, like playback stuff, but I don't know. It's stuff that's interesting, but I have no clue if we care about it for the project. We kind of want to just focus first and foremost on like gameplay elements. Like we already have a few abilities and stuff. Now we're trying to add a little bit of polish, and then we already have a bunch of stuff to look at on how to improve things. Camera, you know, the 3 C's. So there's definitely a path forward that we need to investigate. Add icons for proxy table stuff, chooser player stuff, drag and drop. Okay, it's all chooser related things. May I ask if you are working on other gas related projects? Just curious if the course helped you with having existing experience. Yeah, I've when I was working at People Can Fly, I worked on Outriders and World Slayer. And yeah, I worked on those games for 3.5 years or so. So that experience has helped me a lot. And you know, I'm still currently using it. It's a pretty popular plugin in a lot of spaces on companies that use Unreal Engine. So, but when I worked People Could Fly, I didn't really know much at all, and so I kind of had to learn from scratch. And yeah, here I am still learning, but you know, I know my way around the plugin now, which is super nice. This is all chooser stuff. Bug fixes for this stuff, rigging stuff, runtime, sequencer. I guess I can look down on this path, or not. There you go. This computer is suffering from success, I guess. I'm definitely gonna have to compile again because it's breaking, but it's fine. It could be replaced soon. I don't know, honestly. Like, it's a pretty versatile plugin. So even if it does get replaced soon, or you know, like, it's hard to say if it'll get replaced, or you know, if your game project or your studio that you want to apply for or working for will come up with their own kind of solution. But even if that is the case, you know, like, it teaches you just more about content creation, gameplay. So it gives you things you can transpose onto like other kinds of projects and other types of frameworks anyway. So I don't think it's a waste of time or anything. Yeah. AI state tree stuff. A lot of fixes, it looks like. Oh, it didn't go into the state tree. State tree, please. So state tree debugger. awesome, good. I want to see the state tree stuff. We had to migrate our NPCs into state trees, at least the hit reactions that they do. Our dummy character NPC is not having any kind of sophisticated logic at all. It just takes damage and dies and plays hit reactions and stuff like that. So eventually we would have, I want to make the dummy for now kind of work like the bots in Overwatch and Overwatch 2 in the training range. You know, some will shoot in place, some will kind of just move from A to B. It shouldn't be too hard to do something like that. And then maybe make other sophisticated AI down the line. I don't know. It would probably be tough, but yeah, station or what we want to do. Blueprints. Add a blueprint array sort functions for native types. Adds in place sort functions. Okay. Improve on insights, instrumentation of blueprint, calculation stuff. Cool. Animation blueprint stuff. Cool. Okay. Some bug fixes. Cool. Blueprint runtime. Not much. So gameplay stuff. So on the course, do you cover melee, shooting, or both? I'd like to cover melee eventually. But for now, it's really just kind of projectile-based things. If you have any interest in what I've been working on so far, you can get a little bit more context. Give me a second. For some reason, I have to log into Twitch with my own chat. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. So this is a forum post that I've been working on. Kind of outlines what I'm trying to do and some interesting topics on it. Yeah, unfortunately, because of what we're doing today, I can't really show the project too much. Again, because we're compiling the engine and the computer is kind of struggling on doing just that, but you can check that out. And if you are learning gas, this is something that I haven't. But yeah. So you gameplay config component non-constant override. Ooh, change your on gameplay so non-constant override. That could be useful. I remember I was struggling for that when I was trying to get the UI stuff to work. Added ability system on gameplay effect inhibition change delegate. Don't know what that really means, but yeah, they're currently adding support for gas, and they use it for Fortnite. And they use it. They used it for Paragon, Lord of Gas, from what I remember, things like that. So new gas, improving gameplay system debuggers, ability system, blah blah blah. Vizlogging capabilities, system using out complex interactions between these things. Awesome. Improving debug facilities, blah blah, cool. State differences, that's good. Deprecated that, blah, blah, blah. Exposing gameplay effect asset text to blueprints, very cool. Added a way to temporarily defer build, blah, blah, blah. Some more more gas stuff. Option parameter. Now easier to implement native gameplay effects properly. Made it clear that we currently do not support replication when using instance per execution. Yes, makes sense. But sometimes you have few responsibility sharing between what's character blueprint versus visibility stuff. Yeah, I mean, the line is blurry for me when it comes to certain movement related things. Like just general character movement should not be an ability, but then you have things like sprint that maybe could be an ability. But you typically have it's just like one-off activations of something. And like once it's activated, it's encapsulated into this state of what the ability is. And then complexity comes from when you need to activate an ability to activate another ability that tracks something else within a different ability. And that's something you should try to avoid if possible, because that can get very hard to debug and hard to kind of contain. It really depends on your needs and how complicated your abilities are. Mine, I don't believe are going to be that complicated, but we'll see. Change gameplay ability system, added serialization operator. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Preload commandlets, more gas stuff. Gameplay tag manager. Added to all tag count changes as opposed to just add and remove. That's nice. Gameplay queue unit tests. Added new input modifier smooth delta. It provides a smooth difference between the current and last input value, which options on how the value is calculated. Okay, some more gas stuff. Update the commands on B, be clear and provide some example. See, that's good. This B, ignore all press keys until release. I had no idea what that means when you're, I think it's when you add a context and remove, you get these kind of like this context struct, and that's part of it. And I had no idea what it really did. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I try to do as much as I can. I'm hoping to reach, niche topics that aren't always super covered. And I try to give credit for when I learn things from, provide resources. And, I ask for feedback. No one really gives me any kind of feedback. I assume that was you who liked the post. I got a notification on it. Could be somebody else and just a coincidence. But it's a pretty popular post, and I hope to keep updating it. As we kind of go forward. Introduce gameplay effect applied, which okay, wait. I really think they should make, because they have a gameplay effect component called like blockability tags, but they should also have like cancel. I think that would be super useful. More stuff. That's good. Gameplay system component will clean itself up. More gas stuff. Prediction key fixes. Okay. Handle 0 and negative time input values on gameplay task wait delay as finishing on the next tick. Cool. Fix remotion replication to proxies when finishing remotion to ensure the replication, blah, blah, blah. Gas stop searches for PC only if a valid PC is found. Yeah, they're doing a lot of support for gas, so I don't think it's going away anytime soon. A lot of fixes in that regard. Content samples, I'm sure there's stuff there. No. Okay, so we're at 5,882. So we're almost there. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see if this will finish while we're on stream so I can kind of just keep talking. So I appreciate the engagement that's going on so far. But yeah, mass is also another big topic. Because the one thing that Unreal isn't so good at right now, but it's trying to be better with, is open world kind of games and concepts. And something like mass is, part of that. Trying to have, mass amount of entities in the world that's performant and cool looking, I suppose. Fix this client-side crash when an attribute is removed server-side prior to blah, blah, blah. Moving the gameplay effects logs from logability system to log gameplay effect. Fixing a regression where gameplay queues may receive 2 on active calls when executed by a non-instant. Replaying crashes. Allow gameplay ability to replicate variables. Okay, cool. Fix a bug where the on-force feedback finished on would never be called. Something that I would like to see if they can fix. Because I'm pretty sure it has a parameter to ignore time dilation. So say, for example, you have like a cool cinematic thing where, you cut the guy's throat and, it slows down time. Before that, you have force feedback on the controller. Right now, I've seen problems if you try to do that through like a gameplay queue. The length of the force feedback would then scale with time dilation. So when time's slowing, you'd still keep. And I'm curious if it's fixed in here. I don't think so. I'm not gonna be able to find it in this sea of fixes, but I'm curious if it'll be there or it'll be in a patch somewhere after the fact, or if it'll be in like 5.5. Yeah, I don't even think I want to have time dilation in multiplayer. That doesn't really make sense to me. Like, the only thing that does kind of make sense, if possible, is hit stops, but that's like animation montage driven, rather than like a global time dilation. Okay, so it failed to compile, but I believe it's because of these like failures of creating memory. So let's try to compile again. It shouldn't have to do 6,000 things. Should only have to do 53. So the fact that I got this to compile in about 45 minutes to an hour, that's pretty decent. So now it's going to open up the editor for the first time. And that's also going to take a long time because of, I guess, the derived data cache and everything like that. So it's probably going to be take too long. But we got to the stage that I kind of wanted to get at. So give me a couple moments here. There should be boop, 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 boop. Just want to make sure this bot is turned on. Cloud bot turn on. I should be able to send this. Yes. So feel free to join my Discord if you like. It's not too super active, but if you need any help, have any questions on anything, or just want to chat, that's a good place to do it. My next gas task for this week is to try to implement a good swap weapon system. I'm trying to contain the logic in a single ability if possible. That definitely should be possible. It just depends on what information is exposed from your inventory system, and I guess the complexity of your swap. Because if it's just like a, change between two things, that's one thing. Potentially what you would need to do is like you have your inventory system and you have the UI for it, and then when you select the piece of weapon, that's what activates the ability that, removes the current weapon and replaces it with a new one. That's a possibility. So yeah. It should be possible. It just really depends on what you need. So I'm going to end the stream there. We have the editor starting to open, which is great. I'm not sure when I'll try to actually move the project files over. Maybe even tonight I'll try. I don't know. Maybe Risky might want to just chill. So if you are watching and not following me here on Twitch, a follow would be much appreciated. Possibly, since there's a few people watching, I can bring us over to Sovereign Dev. So if anyone wants to stick around and watch him, he's pretty cool. Go ahead and do that. But yeah, until then, have a good night. I won't be streaming tomorrow, and I'll be in Amsterdam for the weekend, so that's gonna be fun. So take care, and see you soon.